Good morning everyone and happy Sunday. I thought we'd do a little vlog. I'm not too sure what it's going to involve yet, but in 3 days I'm getting my third hair appointment with this blonde hair. So I thought I would take you along for that update and kind of show you a little bit about my weekend and week in between. The only thing that's exciting for me but not for you is that I washed my makeup brushes yesterday, so they're all fresh, you know, and they're all so clean and oh, it's the best feeling. My favorite brushes are from MAC, Charlotte Tilbury, and then I used to think Chanel, but they haven't worn the best. So I still like them though, they work pretty well. Oh, and then for concealer, I really love this Zoeva one. It's the best one I've ever tried. It works really well for foundation too, but I don't use a brush for foundation. I just use my fingers. So this is a new thing I wanted to show you, and Dara on Instagram is the one who recommended this, and what a moment of nostalgia. Oh my goodness, if you were into YouTube in the 2000s, then this will really ring a bell for you. So hold on, see if I can show you the colors. Remember this and this? Some of them are new. Either that or I wasn't cool enough to know them at the time. Sugar Plum, I remember. And I just think it's so pretty because I love that there's no like really orange colors, or they're not too purple. I feel like so many nude palettes are those things. And yeah, this looks so pretty. This peach will actually make an awesome blending color. You'd be surprised. Even on very fair skin, it works really well. Other things that I'm loving that I'll be using when I do my makeup is this eye cream from Summer Fridays. I use this every day under my eye concealer because it sinks in fast enough that it works as a daytime eye cream. I think it's not rich enough for a nighttime eye cream. You could use it for that, but for me, I like something a little bit more rich. And then lined up here, I mean, this tells you what I like as face makeup. These are not all the same. Some of them are Kai in 6.5 and others are Diaz in 7. And then one of them I brought back from Hawaii. I don't know. I can't tell you why I have 4, but I have 4 because it's the only thing I use really on my face. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's the best. Favorite lip balm right now. I love this. Oh, it looks so grotty. I'm so sorry. For little eye brightening when I feel tired. What else? Is there anything else new and exciting? Oh, I love this lip balm for like a little bit of a berry look. And what else? I have a new blush coming. I think it may actually arrive before I end this vlog, and I've been loving this bronzer as, you know, a way to add warmth into my skin while I'm definitely not anywhere near tan, but I really like this shade. It's a little bit almost like taupey. I need to get my nails done. Look how grown out they are. So we're gonna do that today and get dressed and have some coffee and then head off to Kirkland. So here's what the Ilia skin tint looks like with nothing else on. I have no concealer, nothing. I love how glowy it is. I do, however, set it around the T-zone so that it will last all day because I know I will get more oily there throughout the day. But I think the finish of it is just so gorgeous. I think it's the only foundation, you know, skin-based product that I've ever tried that I think truly you could wear on its own because your face doesn't look like a mask without anything else on. So that is what that looks like, and now I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup. Do my concealer. So I already did half of it. So this is the Ilia concealer, and I put the smallest amount on, just kind of out towards here, not too high up. And then what I do is I take a little bit of the Prep and Prime Radiant Rose and I put that in the inner eye corners, and then I just kind of stipple that in and spread it out a little bit, and that adds some much needed brightness, especially when I have late nights. Yesterday was a late night of orders. This week has been more late nights of work. Look at these cute little ones. It's morning bath time right now, right? Sweet babies. Alright, I gotta head off in 5 minutes, but I wanted to show you the eye look and a quick little lip trick. So the eye look is as follows. I love it. I forgot how comparatively not super pigmented the MAC shadows are, but how easy to work with. They're so easy to work with compared to, you know, all the fancy brands that I think most of us have turned to instead over the years, where we started with making these kind of palettes on our own, or at least that's what I was doing. I remember using a blow dryer to detach the palettes, you know, when they came in singles only, and then putting them into these guys. Or I think maybe they came in like pans when I started, but for whatever reason I was buying them in pots and then eventually turned to a palette, and I had all these like fumes going on. Anyway, what can I say? It was the dark ages, I suppose, but in my head still, in terms of YouTube, the golden age. So I used a little bit of shroom. It is a little bit frosty, so I didn't use too much on the eyebrow or brow bone. Then I used this color, which is Tete-a-tint, all over the crease to help with blending and make it easier. Great trick that I learned from makeup artists on YouTube. Then I used Drop the Robe, which is a lot like All That Glitters, but a little bit less pinky. All over the eyelid, in the crease, then on top of this, but you know, really in the actual crease rather than higher up in the blending kind of area, I used a mixture of Sandstone and Pleasing to the Eye to get a color that's neither too mauvey nor too like cool taupe. And then along the lash line, I used good old espresso, which is just wonderful to blend out a black eyeliner like my usual Dolly Winks here. So I like to do that because it just makes a winged eye so much less harsh and easier to wear. And that is my look. I'm going to fix my hair a little bit, but I've got my beautiful turquoise earrings from my new collection, and let's head off for the day. Are you guys going to be good? Yeah? I'm going to be good kitties? Sammy. And baby. Guess where I am? Back at the mothership. It's been a while. It's kind of fun to be here with you guys. Do most of my shopping online nowadays, but we were coming here anyway as a quick pit stop before brunch. I'm at Bellevue Square, and I thought I would quickly check out the MAC counter because I want to see if I can replace shroom in it with what used to be my favorite highlight color. I promise this video is not sponsored by MAC, but I am having a pretty nostalgic moment with MAC. Should we do a quick little OOTD? Here's my outfit. Oh, this lighting is not good. Hold on. That's a little bit better. So I've got turquoise earrings, turquoise scarf, leather jacket from Gap that's 15 years old, so proof that I keep my clothes for a long time. I shop a lot, but I also really try and get things that I will love forever. Super classic, pretty much head to toe always. I've got my boy bag, and then underneath, I'm sure you'll see more of this later, but I have a cable knit sweater that is cotton from Ralph by Ralph Lauren, so it's really nice for spring layering. And then I have Spanx jeans and Todd's shoes. And I'm quickly gonna check out the shoe sales, see if there's anything good, because who can walk by these without checking for something exciting? And then we're gonna head off to brunch. So at the back counter, I think I found a really good bet, which is grain. It's actually not that dissimilar from shroom, but it's a little bit more similar to my skin tone and a tiny bit less frosty as well. Now here's the problem though. I don't know if this is like a Canada thing or they don't have just the pans. So I'm either gonna have to go at it with a blow dryer or maybe check out the MAC store and see if they sell just the pans. And if you guys are rolling your eyes, it's because I haven't shopped at MAC in like forever. So I don't really know how it works anymore. I went in asking for Ricepaper. Some of you may remember that color. It was my favorite highlight. I haven't had one in a long time, and it no longer exists. It is long gone apparently, so So they have the singles here, which is such a win. See if I can focus on this. So that's green. It's a little bit more pinky, but here I think this is the ultimate. You feel like you have a similar, I don't know, skin tone, complexion to mine, then this is such a good highlight color. I love it. Ricepaper apparently still exists, at least as part of the Pro Palette collection. So I'm gonna switch it out. It might take a little bit of fiddling with it, but here it is. They do have the singles just in the pan, and I got Ricepaper, so I'm so pleased with that. If you come visit Seattle, I highly recommend, especially if you have nice weather, to come to Kirkland for part of a day. They have a lot of cute boutiques here and a lot of really yummy restaurants. One of our favorites, which is the oldest restaurant in Kirkland, is George's, so we're all gonna have brunch here. And our table is ready, but I'm lagging behind to show you guys what the outside looks like. Cute patio too. Back at my favorite, Bayside Nails. Does it even say that? Oh, it's over there. The sign is over there. This is the best place for acrylic overlay, which is what I always get. I don't know if I show you close up if you can see like how the finish of it comes off when I do a lot of orders. So this is a badly needed appointment. I even have some like jewelry glue on some of them. And I'm getting my nails vacation ready actually, because we're going to a warm and tropical place pretty soon. So I'm gonna get a fun like Easter-y kind of color that's like not too kitschy hopefully. But you can see the kind of colors I'm feeling right now. So probably will be no huge surprise, but yeah, if you're in the area, definitely come get your nails done. I'm gonna get a gel pedicure and then my usual acrylic overlay fill with gel polish on top. Options, I think this one is too bright. This one on the right is a little green, so I'm kind of torn between these two. A very pale, milky, minty green, or more of a sky blue. I think this is the winner. I would put money on it being It's a Boy by OPI. It seems a little more milky than that somehow, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. All done. I love the sky blue. I think it's really pretty and fresh. And oh, by the way, if you want one of these scarves, Rainbow Collection is on its very last 2 of every color, I think, or something like that. 2, maximum 3. So it's not going to be reordered after that. I'm moving on to new things, but I love all these bright colors in my silky original design that's perfect for lighter weather. And then apparently this color is called Baby Dolphin. So if I had placed a bet on it being It's a Boy by OPI, I would have lost. And the brand is Gel Elixir, not OPI. Baby Dolphin. How cute is that? At Totem Mall, where there's Whole Foods right next to Trader Joe's, i.e. heaven for anyone who loves to cook like me. But it is pouring right now. I did not particularly dress for this, but thankfully I had a little Barber waterproof coat in the car, which is coming in very handy. Here's the new aisle, new stuff. This looks pretty tasty to have with coffee. And otherwise there's not a whole lot that's new to me. I already have several of these and they're perfect for like just putting a little bit on pizza without having a jar that will languish in your fridge forever. What else? Yeah, nothing that's too appealing to me, but some of you may find this interesting since this is the hot off the press section of TJ's. This is my order, classic order I always get. It's garlicky, it's creamy, it's delicious. Here it is, beautiful tonkatsu black, the garlic, elixir, a little bit of fried onions, woodier mushrooms, but really the best part is that creamy, delicious broth. Look at that. So I'm back home and I thought I would share with you some of the highlights of my groceries. Now, I just put away a whole ton of meat and vegetables and fruits even. I even have a little tasty serving of washed up grapes, and I'm gonna make some green tea. I've got my green tea pearls in here ready to go. I am going to show you some of my other favorites. So for cheese, other than the Parmigiano, which I always get there, I got a big chunk with a small piece of crust, which is my best tip for you, because even though I do keep the crust for stews and stuff, you're paying for that crust, so I always look for smaller crusts to cheese ratio. Anyway, other than that, for cheese, these are some of my favorites. I really like the Port Salut. And oh, I got some Mary's crackers just from Amazon, and I really like this flavor. Do a little cheese plate with the Port Salut and then the unexpected cheddar. It's super crumbly, which I feel like not everyone is gonna love, but what I do is I use their hot honey with this cheese, and it sort of helps it to like stick to the cracker because it's so crumbly, but it's so good. It tastes delicious. For more kind of melty things, think grilled cheese sandwich, mac and cheese. Smoked Gouda, because of the fact that it's smoked, is really flavorful for things like that. It melts really well as well. So I got that. If you've never had this hot smoked Scottish salmon, it's so good. I don't really like thick cut smoked salmon like this normally, but then I tried this one and I really wanted to recommend it to you because I also feel like it doesn't look that tasty in the wrapper. I don't know, I feel like smoked salmon usually is a brighter color and it just looks more appealing, but trust me, oh, it's so good. It really is delicious on bread, in a salad, really, really tasty. I have another tip for omega-3s, but it's actually not even from Trader Joe's, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. And then whenever I feel like I'm running even slightly low, I purchase another jar of this, which is my favorite condiment from Trader Joe's. It's so delicious. It's a little sour, spicy, flavorful. I love the texture of it. It's so good on pizza, in a sauce, in a salad dressing, anywhere. If you've never had these little potatoes, I think that these long fingerling version ones with some rosemary and olive oil need nothing else. They're so flavorful. Yes, potatoes have flavor just on their own, you know, like in itself, it has delicious flavor. And I try and eat them pretty quickly after I buy them while they're still really fresh without putting them in the fridge. I don't peel them, of course. I just roast them, often even just in the air fryer, and they're so yummy. Slice them down the middle, rosemary, olive oil, salt, nothing else is needed. They're so tasty. And I do think that they taste better than the other kind of heirloom potatoes that they have that are round. I don't know why. I think these ones taste the best. And then if you have a local Walmart, this is something I picked up recently, and so I just, while I was putting stuff away, thought I would show it to you. This tuna in olive oil is so good. I made a bucatini with tuna recently that I posted in my Instagram stories. If you want to see more food content, that's a good place to find it from me. Although I will try and get a what I eat in a day up again for you soon. But this is the best. It's just so flavorful. It's so good for you. It's much better quality fish than most tuna brands in water. And at Walmart, it's really not too much. I think it was $3 or $4 a jar, something like that. It was obviously more than tuna in water usually is, but it's also got twice the flavor. So highly recommend this as a pantry ingredient. I always have some on hand, and I used to get the Rio tuna brand because it was less expensive in what I grew up with, but now that I found this in Walmart, it's in glass, which I think is a little bit better. I also like these little jars. They look pretty chic, and they're just so good. So good. And in these go at about 400. Should be good. They'll take about 20 minutes and then they will be delicious. And then to go with that, I'm going to bake some salmon with the mini asparagus. It's covered in spicy mayo. And bake it for solid like 10-12 minutes. And then probably remove the asparagus. These are very small, so they'll cook super fast. And finish it under the broiler for a little bit of like nice color, and it just really makes it delicious without drying it out. Et voila, dinner is served. Well, lacking some cutlery. But here are the asparagus, and they're not too overcooked, maybe a hair overdone. It's really tough with these little guys, but they're not, you know, really cooked to lacking flavor or anything like that. And here is the beautiful salmon. Isn't it pretty once it's been broiled? And the delicious rosemary potatoes. Isn't it fun when art mimics nature? And sometimes that nature is edible. This is dragon fruit from my new fruit box. I just obsessed with this color. So beautiful. And then attempting a French omelet. That's zucchini, tomato, and red onion. And this is 6 eggs, 5 or 6 eggs depending on their size. It's about right for 2 people. And these are farm fresh eggs, hence the beautiful bright almost saffron color. And then I'm going to use a combination of Colby Jack and Boursin because that's what I have in the fridge. Here's mine, and I'm letting the other half get a little more firm, but this is how I like mine. A little more on the runny side, but not really runny. A little bounce. And it's going to be so flavorful thanks to all these beautiful vegetables. As usual, princess of the boxes. Queen of the recycling. Precious. Today is hair day. I'm about to head off to go see Megan at Hawthorne to have my 3rd ever blonding appointment. It's been more than 6 weeks since my 2nd appointment, which was the big kind of make a difference appointment, balayage appointment that I had in December during Vlogmas. So that first one really lightened up my hair if you haven't caught it, but it was still very warm and not super dimensional. The 2nd appointment made it a little bit more dimensional, but mostly just focused on toning down as much warmth as possible. And you can see the results of that here. But I do want it to be a little bit less kind of bleach blonde on the end, so the whole thing kind of more blended and more cool toned, and I think we're gonna strive for that for a while. Honestly, I think it's probably something everyone with light color processed hair, especially with a very dark base like I have, kind of works on every time at appointments. So we'll see how we do today and what Megan says, and what she has time for too, and also what I have time for with work, because this is a little bit of a shorter appointment. So more of a refresh than a makeover, but I will take you along with me anyway. Here we are at Hawthorne. By the way, I've got my beautiful Loewe bag, which I still love. It still looks brand new, even though right now I even have my laptop in here for work, which probably not the best idea with such a nice handbag when it's a MacBook Pro, but I do it anyway. It is kind of my handbag of choice for that right now, for things that are too big for other purses. But I thought I would show you these beautiful cherry blossom trees. I know it's officially spring calendar-wise, but I think it's also officially spring with nature, which is pretty exciting. Yesterday was a beautiful day, and I'm really looking forward to patio drink season. I don't know about you, but this year I feel really excited about that. So yeah, here we are at Hawthorne. I'm gonna go see Megan and see what we can do with this. Good one, Mom. It's just, I really like it. Yeah. So here it is. I love it. So here's what Megan did to take it from what you saw. I think you can see the biggest difference on the ends, which she did via single process. So on the very ends it's a level 7, but then she blended that going up, starting with a 5, then a 6 kind of throughout, and then a 7 is kind of what you're seeing mainly here. It's like a dark blonde, not too ashy, because obviously, you know, you don't want hair matching this shirt, if that's not what you're trying to do, and I love it. She said she used a combination of ash and neutral. And here is a simple but beautiful lunch with the Walmart Tonino tuna that I showed you the other day. It's not a proper, you know, traditional French niçoise salad because there's avocado and no potatoes, and I'm sure a few other things that I'm forgetting, but it has nice crisp green beans. I don't like them to be too raw, but still, you know, nice and tender and a little bit crunchy. And a soft-boiled, almost soft-boiled egg that I actually did in the air fryer. Did you know you could do that? About 9 minutes. This was almost 10, and 270 degrees in the air fryer. Actually makes them really easy to peel. Olives, cherry tomatoes, and then just some power greens from Trader Joe's with a simple Dijon vinaigrette. I love this little nifty gadget, by the way. I've been getting a lot of use out of it. It makes it easy to mix and keep so that you always have salad dressing on hand. Happy Friday. I know that it's like early Friday evening when I switch from my skinny jeans into some comfy, stretchy yoga pants. Otherwise, my outfit hasn't changed. I'm wearing just a simple white t-shirt from Madewell and my Jenny Kane oversized cashmere cardigan, which is perfect when it's still chilly outside, and I just want something super cozy to get through, you know, the end of the week at work. And then I'm wearing my turquoise earrings from my new collection. It is cheesecake time, and I've been looking forward to this all day. Here is a panoply of cream cheese that I'm going to put in it because you need so much cream cheese for this recipe. And then these are the farm fresh eggs that I talked to you about. I realized with horror, I do not currently own a springform pan, so we're going to make an oval Basque cheesecake, and you're going to be along for this intrepid endeavor. I don't know if it's going to work out or not, but we are going to try because it's not the lack of a mold that's going to dissuade me from the cheesecake I've been wanting to make all day. The reason I want to use this one instead of, let's say, any other recipe from Food Wishes or anything is that I find that a lot of the American recipes are not custardy in the middle. I think probably because we're always so scared of undercooking things. It's the same thing with different types of custards. What else? Like carbonara is often overcooked. A lot of things that have eggs are always cooked to death. But you can see in this photo, which isn't even that thick of a slice, so it's going to be more baked, that the inside of the cheesecake is supposed to be kind of melty. And so this recipe originated in 1990 from a restaurant in Spain called La Viña. I don't think it's a very large restaurant, it's a smaller bar, and I have had this type of cheesecake before, usually with a more burnished top than this, and the combination of the creaminess and sweetness and slight bitterness from how the top essentially gets burnt while it's cooking. There we go, that's more like it, because it cooks at a very high temperature for a shorter amount of time. It's just incredible. It's really to my taste. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite type of cheesecake I have ever tried. So we are gonna try and make it. I think one little tweak I am gonna make, which I know is so naughty and takes it from, you know, me trying so hard to find an authentic recipe to then ruining it, but you have to let me do my own thing, you know, TGIF and all that. I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla flavor that goes with cheesecake really beautifully, but just a touch, not too much. And then I'm gonna try that recipe and we will see how we do with it and if it turns out good. I'm just excited to do some baking. It's been a while since I have actually baked anything. This in this blog post does not contain any flour, and so I specifically kind of want to make this because my neighbor is gluten-free, so I want to bring her some cheesecake, and so I can do that if I omit the flour. So we're gonna take that risk. The recipe promises it will still set even if you don't include it, so we'll see how it does with that. And I cannot let you go and move forward with the cheesecake until I show you this before I forget. Look at these beautiful little limes that it's growing. I can't remember if maybe during Vlogmas I might have shown you it was growing one, but then while I was away it fell off, so I never got to actually try any, and it's actually got quite a few beautiful blooms. So we'll see if anything comes of it this time. Quite excited. I'm quite proud of my, you know, little garden here that I have going. That's a pineapple plant, by the way. Isn't that cool? No pineapple to be seen yet, but here's hoping. All right, here's the before. It smells really good. The batter looks about the right consistency compared to video recipes I've seen. The only thing is I don't quite remember seeing so many air bubbles in them, but I'm gonna give it a few more taps to get some of those out and then pop it in the oven and hope for the best. My Christmas glove on still, and here it is. If you've never seen Basque cheesecake, by the way, I guess this would look just like a horrible mistake, but it's actually visually pretty close to right, maybe just a little dark on this corner, but it's supposed to be a burnished dark brown because that provides a bitterness that is kind of the signature flavor of it. So I know that it's appropriately kind of done because when I move it, it's sort of hard with just one glove, but I don't know if you can see it, it jiggles kind of like, yeah, like a custard or jello would. So what I did to do my best to have it cooked how I thought it should be is I baked it on the sort of, well, what's the top rack for me here, I'll show you. You can see it's not that high. I baked it there for the first 30 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. And then I saw that it was already getting pretty dark, but still very liquidy, definitely not done. And so I sort of paused on, do I tent it? Which is probably what I would do for any other baked good, but I was worried that that would affect it in a weird way and overcook it, or what I ended up doing, which is just to move it to the bottom rack so it would get a little bit less heat from the top. And here's how it came out. Honestly, I don't know if this is weird, but I kind of like the oval shape. So I'm gonna let this cool to room temperature, and then I'm probably gonna put it in the fridge for a little bit as well before dinner, but it shouldn't be served ice cold, I don't think. And I've heard that the trick for a clean slice is to dip the knife in some really hot water. So that's what I'll be trying later. And I do have some strawberries in the fridge, but apparently at the bar where this was invented, the signature way of serving it is actually with sherry. I don't have any sherry, but I have some champagne and I have some port. So those are kind of going to be the drinks choices tonight. But pretty impressed with how this is looking so far and excited for the weekend. Moment of truth. Also, it's an exciting start to the weekend because I just got this. God, that noise probably doesn't sound very fun on camera. The coffee grinder, old school style, from a German brand called Zausenhaus or something like that. I'm not sure how you pronounce it right, but it is the old school way of how you grind beans, and I'm really excited to have fresh ground coffee in my Japanese coffee maker that I showed you guys that I got. So this is Intelligentsia coffee, which is my mom's favorite whole beans, so we're going to try them out as well. But before we even really think about that, let me put this away and give this cheesecake the attention that it deserves. So I'm going to pour a little bit of hot water on my knife as per internet instructions, wipe it off, and then give it a slice. Where do I start on an oval cake? It's sort of like butter. Well, it's not oozing out in a big puddle, so that's a good thing. And the sides look good, nice and burnished, but not burned. Look at that. So custardy. The first slice is never perfect, but it looks pretty good. Little jiggle jiggle. I'm gonna get a fork and take the first bite. I would say so far, for a first attempt, it's not bad. Bad looking at least. It needs to cool down. I think it's actually still surprisingly warm, but it's good. I think next time I would tone down the sugar a little bit. But it's got that bitter, sweet, creamy, cheesy, tangy burst of flavor that I associate with this type of cheesecake. And I think you should try it too. That's it. So we're at Exit 5, our favorite Korean barbecue place here in Renton at the Landing. And look at this incredible spread. It looks so good. So many meats. Of course, thank you. Delicious kimchi soup. And it's time to get grilling. Yes. Super random, but I've never been into World Market before. They have a really good selection of wine. I was looking for sherry. Isn't that random? But they don't have any. They do have very cute stuff. Especially if you're looking for patio furniture. They have especially nice, kind of crisp outdoor things, which can be pretty hard to find. So good to know. Thought before I head off for drinks, I would show you the Kirkland waterfront. I don't think I've ever taken you down here before. It's one of my favorite areas for walks, and you can see Seattle in the distance there. It's a little bit of a gloomy day today, but in between the rain, you can see lots of people enjoying the outdoors here. Little duckies, and many, many, many boats.
But they can make it. Really? Yeah, this is a big one. I found that there's a 30-day limit.
Back in Nordstrom again. What do you guys think about this blouse? Let's check if they have my size. Veronica Beard, one of my favorites. This would be great for an in-person client meeting with a little suit if you want to be more formal. For me these days, probably with some dark denim and a little casual blazer. You don't have my size. Okay, I think I'm probably, oh wait, there's more. Oh no, these are dresses. I don't like that. I don't like the ruching. Why? Why not make it belted and nice? I'm gonna look online for this shirt. I do really like it, and I like these jeans too. Very like, I think this would make a cool combination actually, style wise. And let's see what else good stuff they have. Morning everyone. It's a very Barbie kind of background here. I'm gonna end the vlog shortly, but before we do that, I want to do my makeup and show you what it looks like, because I got quite a few new MAC things over this week. Here's like the total haul of things I got. One of them is just a backup for my Prep and Prime highlighter that I told you that I really like. It's the only MAC product that I've kind of continuously used over the last few years. Everything else feels like a blast from the past. Here's my old grotty one that's on its last legs. I got a new brow pen. I think this might be a little light, but I'm gonna try it because I basically am always trying to cover some of the microblading that I got, because I don't want my eyebrows to look quite as dark as I used to want to since I dyed my hair. Oh look, we have a little cat parade arriving. They're quite distressed because I'm going through clothes and moving around suitcases in preparation for vacation. And then here is what I really wanted to share with you. So this is a mineralized skin finish. I thought I would try it again because, you know, I've been looking for new powders ever since this got discontinued, my very favorite. So I'm still looking for my holy grail. So far the Gucci that you guys suggested is the front runner, but it's been a long time since I've tried mineralized skin finishes. Here's what it looks like. So I thought I would try that again. And then, if you remember the very old school YouTube days, Soft and Gentle was the highlight of choice. So here it is. I got a new one, and I feel like the quantity that you get has shrunk by like half. This feels so tiny. The old one was like palm sized, but the quality is still as good, and I really like that unlike the Becca's, which I cannot travel with because they shatter so badly, this one actually already has shattered, but I'm still using it stubbornly. You can grind it up and put it back together, but I do not have the patience for that, so I just do not want to put this in a makeup bag ever. It's just going to stay here for the rest of its life. And so something like this that is, I guess it's the mineralized texture of it, means it really doesn't shatter unless you know, drop it. And then I have this new Peachy Keen blush that just arrived, which is a very pretty coral. It's a nice alternative to NARS Orgasm, I think, because it's a little bit less shimmery somehow, I think, and a little bit darker, like, I don't know, almost a little bit more plummy, but still a coral. You can compare it to my hot pink Barbie shirt. This is the exciting thing that I wanted to show you. Look how beautiful it is. I feel like I need to like dust it a little bit after I put it together. So this is an empty palette that I ordered, and then this is, I feel like, only something a crazy person like me would do, where I just needed it to be perfect. So I sent back the Nude Library palette because there were a few things about it that I didn't love, and the frosty highlight was the main thing. And I knew that I wouldn't want to travel with it because of that I would always have to bring another palette. So let me open it so you can see a little bit better. So here is what I have inside here. I'm not going to name it every shade, but I will list them for you down below. This is Brulé Ricepaper, which you saw me buy. I switched the darkest color, so Nude Library, it's Espresso. I prefer Brulé. It's got a little piece of lint there, sorry, because it's a little bit more cool toned. Then I wanted some greens instead of some of the kind of warmer, more orangey colors that I find don't suit me anyway. I thought that this would be fun for vacation, so I have Showbiz and Club over here, and Club actually is really old. I had it in an old palette and transferred it over. Some colors that I actually loved from the Nude Library palette and replicated are, this is Nude Model, I think it's called, and then I have Tete-a-tint here, which is like a peachy blending color that is so perfect. And then two colors that I love that make me feel nostalgic as well, and I really wanted to have in here, again, kind of part of the motivation to make my own palette instead, are All That Glitters. I know, cliche, but it's such a great color. It's such a pretty rose gold. Just a perfect all over the eyelid color. I know that's like so funny to say. And then it looks funny in brand new form because I think it's making it look, I don't know, a little bit of a different tone than it actually ends up being when you use it. But this is my all-time favorite MAC eyeshadow color that I always felt was underrated because it is a warm medium brown that is soft and blendable enough that for more of an evening look you can put it kind of all over the eyelid, and it's the only brown that I've really ever loved doing that with. It has the perfect amount of shimmer. It's called Mulch, and then I often do blend it out a little bit with this color, which has more kind of gold metallic to it but isn't quite as easy to wear somehow, and that's called Woodwinked. And if you've never heard of that one, it was another kind of all-time favorite of YouTubers. And then my favorite blending color here is Omega. It's so great. This is Quarry, which is great for kind of more plummy looks, so I think it'll combine really well with Nude Model. I don't know, I have this whole like idea that I can make every look that I could possibly want with this. So I'm just gonna do something really simple and neutral today, given my, you know, totally neutral sweater, and get ready, and then I'm actually gonna film a little haul for my channel and let you guys go in this video. But first, let's put some makeup on and get our face on and have our coffee and have some girly time. Precious. Baby Sammy. Alright, so here's my face with my MAC makeup on. Really happy with how it turned out and how my hair's looking as well. Very vacation ready and a little bit Barbie-ish for me, you know, compared to how I used to look in a good way. So yeah, I really like this look. Let me close my eyes so you can see the eyeshadow. I mean, it's nothing crazy purposefully for two reasons. A, I kind of like, you know, more simple makeup looks, just neutral, nothing too fancy every day. And then I also didn't want to go too crazy with this super bright sweater. So I'm actually like, it's funny, I feel like I'm saying goodbye to you now, but not, because I'm just about to go film another video wearing this exact same thing. But here's what I used on the eyelids before I say au revoir. Barely used any Brulé, just a little bit on the brow bone, but I used quite a lot of Ricepaper on the inner eye corner because I just found that it just works so well to cover any darkness. I really love how it looks. Love how Tete-a-tint, so hard for me to say, works to just really blend everything out. So I use that and Omega in the crease. I use Brun to blend out my liquid eyeliner, and I've been using a brown one actually, which I think looks a little softer. This is the Dolly Winks one. And then I used a lot of All That Glitters and Mulch on the eyelid, on the kind of outer third of the eyelid for Mulch. And that's about it. I don't think I used anything else this time around. So this is my new little palette. So honestly, I think it's a lot more fun to make your own than to buy a pre-made one. The only downside, I think, is that for whatever reason the trays, and you can see underneath, I tried marking the colors with some gold pen, but that was a total fail. I need to get little labels or something if I want to do that. But what was I gonna say? Oh yes, the only downside is, in my head I was kind of doing this all for the sake of this trip to have a perfect eyeshadow palette. It turned out a little heavy because of the insert and everything, but I think it's still worth it because I know that I will have everything I could possibly want and lots of stuff to play with. So with all that said and this week shared, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next installment on style. Bye!